Hello, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. So let me just wait for people to log in and then we can start the session. Hello, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. So let me just wait for
Okay, so
people to log
in
in.
today's session, I'm going to
Hello, friends.
talk about pawn breaks,
Good
the
morning, good
importance of
afternoon, and good evening.
pawn breaks. And that's what we are going to see in today's session.
So let me just wait for
Okay, hello,
so
Raman Mishra. Good
in
evening.
today's session, I'm going
So
to
before we begin, can you
talk
please
about pawn breaks,
let me
the
know if the
importance
audio
of
is clear? Pawn breaks. And that's what we are going to see in today's session.
Okay,
Hello,
so
Naman Mishra, can you
in
please let
today's
me know?
session, I'm going
So
to
before we begin, can you
talk
please
about pawn breaks,
let
the
me know
importance
if the audio
of
is clear? Kalai, Naman,
pawn breaks.
can you please tell me if my audio is
What we
clear?
are
Can
going to
you
see
hear me well?
in today's
No
session.
disturbance? Hello, Deepak. Low sound.
So
Naman Mishra, can you
in
please let
today's
me know?
session, I'm going
So
to
before we begin, can you
talk
please
about pawn breaks,
let
the
me know
importance
if the
of
audio is
pawn
now?
breaks.
Kalai, Naman,
Pawn breaks.
can you please tell me if my
Is
audio
it
is
better?
clear? Can you hear me well?
Sound
No
is good.
disturbance? Hello, Deepak. Still low? Low sound. Naman Mishra, can you please let me know? So before we begin, can you please
So
how about now?
how about now? Is it better?
Please tell me if my
Is
audio
it
is
better?
clear. Can you hear me well? Sound is
Yeah,
good.
good sound. Audio is clear. Okay, good.
Still low? Low sound.
So Kalai, maybe you have to increase the volume. I think you have to
So how
increase your
about now?
volume. How about now? Is it
Yeah.
better? So let's get into the session. So
Yeah, good sound.
today I'm going
Audio is
to
clear. Okay, good.
show about the pawn
So
breaks,
Kalai,
the
maybe you
role
have to
of pawn
increase
breaks in
the
chess.
volume.
Now, how this is important,
I think
in
you have
which
to increase your
circumstances
volume.
we have to do, how to
About
do
now?
it.
Is it
Yeah,
better?
that is what we
So
are
let's
going
get
to
into the session.
see today.
So
Okay.
yeah, good sound.
Today I'm going
Audio is
to
clear.
echo is
Show
coming.
about the pawn
So
breaks,
Kalai,
the
maybe you
role
have
of
to
pawn
increase
breaks in
the
chess.
volume.
Now,
Okay, I
how
hope
this is
it
important,
gets better.
in
Let's
which
see.
circumstances we have to do, how to About
How
do
to
it.
do
Is
it.
it better?
That is what we
So
are
let's
going
get
to
into the session.
see today. Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, good sound.
Today I'm going to
Fine.
echo is
Show
coming.
about the
Yeah,
pawn
Kalai,
breaks,
I read your
the role
message.
of pawn breaks in chess.
Hello,
Now,
Kashyap.
okay, how
Hope
this is
welcome. It
important,
gets better.
in
Let's
which
see.
circumstances
Echo is
we
there?
have to do, how to do it. That is what we are going to
Echo.
see
Hello,
today.
Shankar.
Okay. So
Vanakkam.
I'm going to
Resound.
fine. Echo
Okay.
is coming. About
Yeah, Kalai, I read your
the role
message.
of pawn breaks in
Okay, I think now the echo is stopped because I had kept my YouTube volume on. I think it must have disappeared now, right? The echo. Still echo is there? Okay. Yeah, YouTube is open, but I have muted myself there. Yeah, now it is fine. Okay. So there is some delay. That's why. Yeah, yeah. I had put my YouTube channel voice on, so that was the reason. Yeah. So I think now all the sound issues are sorted out. So let's go into the session. So regarding the pawn breaks, what does pawn break mean? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to make moves in a different board. Sorry about that. Okay, so what does pawn break mean? Now let's say e4 d5. Now this is a pawn break. This is what I mean by pawn break. Yeah. Hello Kashyap, Deepak, Priyadarshini, Pratik, Naman Mishra, Tota Srinivas, everyone. Vanakkam, good evening. Namaste. So this is what I mean by pawn break. There is a pawn tension here. Hello Kirtan. So now generally this is pawn break, and whenever there is a pawn break, there is some tension in the position, and also um, apart from the tension, what happens is generally upcoming players, they are not comfortable whenever there is a tension. Yeah, hello Nagaraj, Banis Anthony, good evening. So generally the upcoming players, they don't like to have tension like this. So what they do, normally they take, or sometimes they release the tension like this, right? So whenever you create tension using pawn breaks, then usually the upcoming players, they will release the tension either by pushing the pawn or capturing the pawn. Rarely they keep the tension between the pawns. Okay. And sometimes what happens from the opening, we develop pieces in passive squares, and as a result our pieces are not having enough space to move around, and the pawn chain is kind of locked, and within first two ranks or three ranks. Okay, so in such cases you have to try to open up the position by using pawn breaks. So one of the main roles of pawn break is to open up the position. Understood? So that your pieces can become active. Now let me show an example, so that way it will become clearer. Okay, so let us start with this first position. Now here, if you see, let us understand what is going on in the position, and then we can try to find the moves. So whenever we see a new position, we should not quickly try to find a move. Okay, that is what many players do. As soon as they see a position, they try to find a move, and as a result, what is happening, they are missing out the part where they can actually understand what is going on. So it is very important we first see the position, all the important features for both white and black, and from that we have to come to an understanding, and then yeah, hello Gizmo girl, welcome. Hello Badri, Swayam, Saptak Chakravarti, welcome. Hello Rahul Krishna. So now let us understand the position first. So first thing, like I said, we should always compare the king position and try to see if any of the king is weak. Now if we compare the black king and the white king, I think both kings are reasonably safe, isn't it? And also no one is attacking the other. White is not attacking the black king, black is not attacking the white king. So we can simply conclude that, hello Swayam. So we can conclude that both kings are safe. So once the king safety is done with, we have to compare the pieces. Okay, so let us compare the white queen with the black queen. Yeah, hello Shrishant. Hello Swayam. So we have to compare the white and black queen. I think white queen is developed, black queen is not developed, but we cannot say white queen is active because these two knights are blocking the path, right? These two knights are blocking the path. So Deepak is saying c6 pawn is weak. Hello Ajit. Hello Shishant. So now if you see, I first did not go directly towards pawn structure. Okay, hello Anirudh. Hello Ajay Mushini. Good evening. So I am not directly looking at the pawn structure first. So this is also something you have to learn. First, you have to compare the kings. Okay, because if you have a good pawn structure, but your king is not safe, and what is the point in having a good pawn structure? Okay, we will come under mating attack. So always give preference to the king first. And the next is we have to look at the pieces, because you need pieces to be active as well. Namaskaram Bharat Joshi, Anand Roy, welcome. So Anand Roy, the last date for payment for Proest training is 31st December. Haha Gaming, hello. So it is 31st December, and you can always go to proesttraining.com. You have all the details. Yeah, hello Brijesh Karia, hello Akash Tul, welcome. So now after comparing the king, I'm starting to compare the pieces now. The queen c2 is developed, queen d8 is not developed, but I wouldn't say queen c2 is a good queen, well placed. No, because the two knights are blocking the queen's path. So the knights are kind of making our queen passive. Okay. Next is I'm comparing the other pieces. Let's see the two rooks. Now this rook is good because it is in semi-open file. Same way, his rook is also better. Hello Dikshit Snaik, namaskaram. Hello Smartha Dhanwadi, welcome. So the rook e8 and rook c1, they both are in semi-files, semi-open files. But the problem is this e3 pawn is well defended by f2 pawn. But the c6 pawn is not defended by a pawn. So I would say rook c1 is slightly better than rook e8. Would you agree? Okay, so now Anirudh is asking, what is pro chess training? Can you explain? Hello, Karthik and Murali. Hello, chess stream. Vanakkam, Karthik and Murali. So we have Grandmaster Karthik and Murali among us. Is a fantastic player, two-time national champion. He came second in Gibraltar Open last year. So very strong player. Hello, Teju Naidu. So welcome to Karthik and Murali. Hello, Tarun Gupta. Welcome. So, like I said, we first have to compare the king and then the pieces. Now, I already mentioned that queen is slightly hidden by these two knights. So, it's making the queen slightly passive. Now, rook c1 is attacking c pawn, which does not have pawn support. Rook 8 is attacking e3, but it has pawn support. So, I would say rook c1 is slightly better than rook on e8. And now, if we compare rook d1 and rook a8, again, rook d1 is developed. And it also prevents c5 kind of moves, right? If we play c5 kind of move, then the d5 pawn will be weak and our rook will become suddenly active. So it has a good potential to become active. And then if you look at the minor pieces, the two knights and the bishop is fine. It is not perfect, but it is not bad either. Okay, but if you look at bishop b7, it's definitely worse than bishop g2, right? And hello Suresh Rao, welcome. Hello Dial Satish, welcome. And regarding the knights, the knight can move to a4 and exert pressure here. This knight has access to e5 square. Okay, so even though temporarily the two knights don't seem to be doing much, but they can quickly assume good squares, right? 95, 94 we can get. So overall, if you look at the piece activity, you can say white has a small advantage, right? Because our pieces are active. So did you understand how to assess a position, how to evaluate a position? What are the important features we have to look at in the initial whenever we see a position? I hope it is clear now. Because what usually happens in the upcoming players level is they give lot of importance to pawn structure and material. First they will count the pawns and pieces. If it is equal, they will see the pawn structure. Okay, and that is one of the reason why many players, what they do, they always try to play with good pawn structure, but as a result their pieces will all become passive. So sometimes what we have to do, we have to compromise or make some compromise, create some bad pawn structure, slightly bad pawn structure for ourselves to make our pieces active. Now these kind of decisions usually lower rated players will not make. Understood? Okay. So now after seeing the king, comparing the king, after comparing the pieces, only then I am going to material and pawn structure, all these things. Okay. So now let us look at pawn structure. Material is equal. So let us look at pawn structure. But before we finish the material, we have to note one more small point, which is black has pair of bishops, two bishop advantage. Okay. Now two bishop advantage is good in the long run. Okay, in the long run, having a two bishop advantage is good. Long run means if the game goes to many moves, right, another 40, 50, 60 moves, then usually the bishops will be good. Hello Rohit, welcome. But in the short run, it depends on a lot of other aspects. Okay, yeah. So now let us compare the pawns. What is going on with the pawns? Now we have one pawn chain and two pawn chain, or some say pawn chain, some say pawn island. What about black? 1 and 2, right? So both sides, நாங்கள் எப்படி இன்னிசைட் டவுன்லோட் பண்ணுறதா? What is that, Suresh? Okay. Indecisive means what? So if you look at the pawn structure, white and black both sides have two pawn islands. Okay, so based on pawn structure, number of pawn chains or pawn islands, we cannot say who is better. But if you look at the pawns little deeply, hello Venkatraghavan, welcome. What can we say about these two pawns? These two pawns are without pawn support, so they are potentially weak pawns. Hello Ashwin Hebar, good evening. So Haha Gaming says lower rated players don't even care for pawn structure; they only care for pieces. No, I understand. Usually, like upcoming players, they give a lot of importance to material. They want to play with equal pawn, equal piece, preferably pawn up, piece up. If that is not possible, if you are not getting any free material, then they will give a lot of importance to pawn structure. That's what I said. Yeah, Rajkumar, namaste. So now these two pawns, they don't have pawn support, so they are weakness. Now, what does weakness mean? Okay, what does weakness mean? Weakness means any positional disadvantage. Hello, Venkatraghavan. Good evening. So any positional disadvantage we have, it is a weakness. Okay, so it can be a square that is weak. It can be a pawn that is weak. It can be many squares, like light squares are weak, dark squares are weak. It can be many squares, not just one. Or it could be many pawns that are weak in opponent position or our position. Okay, sometimes the king is also weak. Okay, so Anirudh, you're asking about Prochess training. Okay, so before I go into the position, so few of you are curious about Prochess training. So let me quickly explain about Prochess training and then we can continue with the position. Hello, Hira Kakoti. Good morning. So now regarding Prochess training, few of the grandmasters, some from India and one from US, Magesh Chandran, myself and few others, we have come together to create an online training platform. It's called Pro Chess Training. Pro means professional. Okay, so the coaches will all be professionals with a lot of experience, either as a player or as a coach. And most of the top level coaches in India, like Grandmaster Ganguly, Grandmaster Hari Krishna, Grandmaster Vishnu Prasanna, Grandmaster Srinath Narayanan, etc., they've all joined us. Even Karthik and Murli will be teaching us. So we have 22 grandmasters so far in Prochess training who will be teaching as coaches, and we also have few international masters, women grandmasters, women international masters, and so on. So there are more than 25 coaches, all title players, who will be teaching us, and we will also be recruiting more top players to teach. And the classes will start from 1st January. 1st January. So you can, for more details, you can go to prochesstraining.com, www.prochesstraining.com. So I'll put it in the description later. So you can go to prochesstraining.com and all the details are available. So we have many groups. So we have like 5 groups, 1000 to 1400, 1400 to 1800, 1800 to 2200, 2200 to 2400, and 2400 above. So in 2400 above, we have a limit of 25 students, and out of which all the 25 seats have been already taken. More than 10 grandmasters have joined as students in the 2400 plus group. So you can imagine how strong this group will be. So they all believe our platform, that kind of trainers we are offering, they see a lot of value in that. So we are also will be having, we already had 2 demonstration classes and we'll be having one more demo class in the near future. All this detail I will post in my Discord channel, Facebook, and Twitter, and it's also available in our website. Okay, so let's now go to the position. Is it okay? Fine. So now, like I said, we have this b6 and c6 weak pawns. Okay, so this also means his pawn structure is not good. Okay, now how white can take advantage of it is a completely different matter. Now, in openings, especially when white plays some irregular openings, sidelines. Okay, so when white plays sidelines, okay, Hira Kakoti, I already saw. I'm not taking English class here. I'm trying to teach chess. So I hope Hira you won't mind if I mispronounce some words. Okay, so now in the opening, if you are playing black and your opponent plays some sidelines like London system, Trompowsky, Cole system, and so on. So they have, whenever they play like that, it is very important for black to keep some pawn tension. Some pawn break should not be there in the position. Okay, very early we should have a pawn break and try to keep the tension for some time. So that way our pieces will have some activity. If you fix the pawn structure, or most likely what will happen, players don't use pawn breaks when they face sidelines from white. When they're playing black and the opponent is playing some sidelines, they don't use pawn breaks. They just keep the pawns in third rank and move all the pieces within third rank. Okay. So as a result, what will happen? The pieces will become very passive. So now you can see, because the pawns are on third rank, most of the pawns. So black's pieces are kind of passive. Okay, so to avoid such passive positions, it's good if you can make early pawn breaks when you are black. Now let us look at pawn breaks now, because that is the topic for the day. Now for black, what pawn breaks he has? Now one pawn break is c5. The other pawn break I could say c is a4, and the other thing is maybe f5, g5, f4. Apart from this, I don't see any other pawn break. Maybe h5, h4, right? So these are the pawn breaks possible. So if you see now, some pawn breaks are possible in the queen side, some pawn breaks possible on the king side. Now here we can reject this h5, h4 ideas, or this f5, g5, f4 ideas. Why? Because our king will become weak, and there is really no target, no weakness in white's position, right? So there is no weakness in white's position, and you cannot say all the black pieces are looking at the king. It is not happening, right? So the black pieces are not looking at our king. So there are no pieces to attack. There is no weakness in white's king side for black to attack. So you can eliminate all this f4 or h4 pawn breaks. Okay, so now the next thing is, let us look at the center and queen side. So these two pawn breaks are available. Now a4 will not be possible because we have knight a4. So maybe he can consider b5 a4, but then it will weaken. So suppose he plays b5 to get a4, these squares are weakened. Okay, hello Pranav, hello Basket, welcome. Okay, Srishant, let us try to stick to the topic. Okay, I cannot teach all the important topics in every class. So what approach I'm taking is, in every session I will take one topic and teach only related things to that topic. So please don't deviate from the topic. Okay, if you are interested to learn about pawn breaks, this will be a good session. Okay, fine. So I can see many of you, like, when something is taught to you in today's session, immediately our mind, it jumps to what is not on offer. Did you notice that? Okay, if somebody is teaching you something, in my case, if I am a upcoming chess player and I'm looking for some good coach to teach me some things, and what could happen? Hello Gaurang, hello Chaitanya. So what will happen is, like, I will simply listen to what is being taught to me. For me, it doesn't matter what topic they teach, it is not important at all. So what is important for me as a student is, I will try to learn as well as possible when someone is teaching me. Okay, that will be my approach. So when some coach is teaching me physics, I won't say, why don't you teach chemistry, why don't you teach me biology, why don't you teach me math, why don't you teach me geography. So then what happens is, anyway, you cannot learn everything in one class, so you are asking for the impossible. Second, the flow will be disturbed. Understood? So my suggestion is, when you are being taught something, I request you to try to learn that as well as you can, because this same poor concentration, I would say this is simply a reflection of bad concentration. Okay, so because something is taught, you are not able to concentrate on that. Your mind is thinking what is missing. Okay, the mind is not seeing what already you have with you. Instead, it is worrying about things which are not in our control. So if you have this kind of weak concentration, then when you play chess games also, if you have a good position, you will be seeing what is bad in your position, and you will start worrying about those things. Okay, everywhere we will be good at finding problems, not learning or using the good things we already have. Okay, that can affect your chess as well. So I would request, just learn whatever is topic we are handling currently. Okay, fine. So we can see that if he tries to go b5 a4, then the c5 square becomes weak, and this bishop, more and more white pawns coming to black pawns coming to white square, the bishop will become even more passive. So I don't think he's going to play for b5 a4. Now what about c5? Now the moment he plays c5, all the white pieces like bishop g2, knight c3, rook d1, all are attacking d5. Once we take dc5, both d5 and c5 pawns will become weak. Okay, so I don't think black can play c5 either. Also this square is also becoming weak. So we can see from this that black cannot open the position with pawn break. Understood? So he cannot open the pawn structure with pawn breaks. Now how about white? How about white's pawn structure? We already seen white pieces are reasonably active, right? Now what are the pawn breaks white has? One, let us go from the queen side to the king side. b4 is possible, e4 is possible. Other than that, I don't think advancing king pawns is a good idea. So I can see only two pawn breaks, b4 and e4. Now when we should look for pawn breaks, this is also important. Now if you have reasonably good piece moves, okay, then you should play those reasonably good piece moves. Okay, but if you don't have any reasonably improving piece moves, hello Rahul Krishna. So if you don't have any reasonable good piece moves, then it is right time to change the pawn structure. And when you are changing pawn structure, you usually do it by pushing pawns or by using pawn breaks. When you use pawn breaks, the position will open up and your pieces can become active. Okay, so my suggestion is, now let's see b4 and e4. Now which pawn break makes more sense for white, b4 or e4? Which one makes more sense to you? So Piyush Jaina, I would be happy if you learn a lot of good things from these sessions. that will make me very happy. So if every one of you, if you learn a lot of good things, and chess is not just moves, okay, you have to remember this, not just opening, middle game, end game kind of thing. It is also a lot of psychology. So we need to have very good concentration. Okay, so which move looks better, e4 or b4? This is what you have to find. So I can see most of you are choosing e4. Now I'll tell you one analogy. So what happens is, like in the village, if even now if you go to some villages in India, and what will happen, a small boy, okay, he won't even wear a shirt, okay, with a small trouser, he will have a small one stick, and he will have one tiffin box with lunch, okay, and he will be given some 100 goats, and he has to take all these 100 goats to a place where there is lot of grass, and he has to make the goats eat those grass, feed them, and bring all the goats back without losing them back home. So this small boy, maybe 8-year-old, 10-year-old kid, so he will manage 100 goats single-handedly. Okay, how? He won't try to control all the 100. He will just control whatever is near him, the first one or two goats. He will lead them towards the grass, and the remaining 98 goats will simply follow. So, do you understand what I'm trying to say? Anyone? Anyone understood what I'm trying to say? What's the point I'm trying to make? What am I trying to say here? Anyone? I'm waiting for the chat message. So there's a slight delay. Okay. Thank you, Gizmo Girl, for that. Happy to learn that you have seen the video. So, wax worker, Ramesh, why don't you call some chess GM as guests? I think the audience will learn much better by observation. Okay, I think there are many streamers who are having multiple guests and doing that. So I want to do slightly different, follow my own path, if you don't mind. So the point is, we should. So the goats, they don't think on their own. Okay, so whatever the goat they see in the front doing, they simply do it. They just follow. So if the first goat turns left, all the 99 goats will turn left. If it goes right, all 99 will turn right. So you just have to influence one or two goats. All other goats will be influenced by these goats. Understand? So what I'm saying is, in chess, don't be so easily influenced. Like when someone types b4, then everybody types b4. When someone types e4, next 10 persons type e4. Understood? That's what I was trying to say. So don't be like that. Okay? We are humans. Our brain is so powerful. We are so intelligent. We can think on our own. Okay? We can think on our own. And we should. Isn't it? We should think our own and take the decisions. Okay? So don't simply type whatever others are telling. I'm not saying you are good. So, but haha gaming, what is your icon? It's a rabbit, huh? Fine. So now if I push e4, what happens is the d4 pawn becomes weak immediately. Right? If I push e4, he will take knight to d4. So maintain your individuality. Okay, so my suggestion, don't even watch the chat too much. Okay, yeah, just unlimited. Thank you. So my suggestion is, don't pay much attention to the chat. Okay, we are not trying to have fun here. We are trying to learn some things good, which can help us when we start playing in tournament games, right? So please pay attention to what I am saying, and also please keep your eyes focused on the position, the chessboard. Okay, so let's work for the hands. So if you have some very important doubt, some issue that is bothering you too much, you can use the chat. Or when you want to suggest moves, you can use the chat. But otherwise, try to just look at the board with your eyes, and not just eyes, your heart, your mind, everything should look at the position. Your ears should listen to what I'm saying. Concentrate, improve your concentration. And when you are concentrating, when you are thinking about the position, also observe yourself how you are thinking. Okay, are you able to concentrate well, or are you disturbed by the chat, or are you disturbed by your own thoughts? Okay, so please observe and encourage yourself to concentrate better. Push yourself to concentrate better. Okay, so this is also very important, because once your mind is calm, your thinking quality will improve. If you are constantly agitated or upset or under stress, the mind will not work very efficiently. So please, when you attend any session by any streamer or coach, please try to keep your mind calm and pay attention to the position. That is the boss. Okay, fine. So now, as I said, when we play e4, the d4 pawn will become weak. That is one. The second is the knight on e6 is not very good. Okay, because the pawn on d4 and is well protected by e3. So the knight is kind of restricted, but it is not under attack, isn't it? I actually attended the session live on the Purple channel. Okay, thank you, Gizmo Girl. It was a long session, I think. It was like 3 hours I was streaming non-stop. I was like, Okay, so Ajaya says, I sometimes struggle in taking these kind of decisions. Now, the good news is, if you give me this position and say what should white play, I will also struggle. Okay, so one thing I used to think when I was young, that all grandmasters, they are like God. They never make mistakes, something like this, because I was not a grandmaster and I was having very less rating. So I thought these grandmasters and all, they are something special, God's gift. So whatever they do or tell is correct. I used to be in awe of seeing top guys. But when I uh, started improving my chess, and then you slowly start beating these grandmasters, then you realize, okay, they're also just like humans, and they can also make mistakes. So the point I'm trying to say is, please don't think chess is easy for grandmasters or high rated players. No. So you have difficulties, right? You don't know how to take decisions. You don't know which move is good or bad. You are confused. You are scared, right? You have all these thoughts and emotions. All grandmasters also have these thoughts and emotions. So please understand this. Okay? So you are in no way inferior to strong players. Okay? You still have to improve a lot. That is all. That is the only difference. They have already started improving and they are enjoying the benefits. You have just begun the journey. You have to think like that. So never think bad about yourself. You are as much capable like any other human being out there. Okay. So like I said, all strong players also, they go through these emotions. Okay. Insecurities, fears, doubts, everything is there. Okay. So if you have these emotions or feelings, it is very natural and normal. Okay. So if you ask me what should I play, I will be very confused. Okay, so because I will look at this position, some moves, like many of you said knight a4, I also like knight a4. Some of you say knight e5, I also like knight e5. Hello Arnav, welcome. So I also like knight e5, I also like knight a4. But you see, if you ask me to choose one move, I'll be completely confused, because I'll also be scared. If I play knight e5 and suppose knight a4 is the best move, then I would have chosen a wrong move, right? So we also have all these feelings. So now the key is, if you are also having tension, I am also having tension, but when we choose moves, there is a better possibility that I will choose a better move than you, right? Why? Because I have learned, or I have reasonable control over my thoughts and emotions. I don't let it affect me or disturb me too much. Okay? But whenever you get these emotions, you are reacting a bit too much. This is the problem. Okay, so I'm increasing something. Now, is my volume increasing? So is my voice okay? I made some small change. Is it loud enough? Anshit? So can you please give feedback on the chat? So I think you will get the message a little later. So can you please tell me, is my audio better? I made some change. Everything is fine. Okay. Fine. Okay, so let's go to the position. Volume increased. Okay. Fine. Okay, let's go to the position again. So, like I said, Suryansh Verma, is this a rule that we should improve the knight first after we have completed the opening? No, I wouldn't say that. You have to generally develop the knight first before bishop in the opening. That is the general rule. not that you have to improve the knight before bishop. No. Yeah, I am seeing here the chat with some lag. It's not lag, it's like bit slow. Hello, Kate. Welcome. Okay. So you have to develop the knight before bishop. That is the general rule. But after you have developed the pieces, you have reached the middle game, then you don't go and say, I still have to improve the knight first before bishop. No, not like that. Fine. So now uh, let us consider piece moves. I think this is one way to improve the piece. This is the other way to improve the piece. I don't think this bishop can be improved. I don't think the king can be improved. I don't think the rook can be improved. I don't think this rook can be improved. I don't think the queen can be improved. Right? So only pieces that can be improved are these two knights, knight a4, knight e5. So let's forget that. Okay, we already have two moves. Now what we should do, look for something else. So we have covered all the pieces. Now what we should do, we should start looking at the pawns. And then we see this is possible, this is possible. Not directly, because if we play e4, the d4 is hanging, and if we play b4, simply a b4 loses a pawn. So the next question is, can these pawns be prepared? Pawn breaks be prepared. So one, I can defend this pawn by playing knight e2. So the knight will defend the pawn, and then maybe I can push e4, right? But do you think knight e2 is an improvement as far as the knight is concerned? Do you think knight position gets better after knight e2? No, right? And even after this, if you play e4, still the knight e6 will become a good piece, and d4 pawn will still remain a weak pawn. Okay, so I don't think this is good. Now, so you can see it's not easy to defend the d4 pawn and prepare e4. So then what we should do, okay, so I cannot play e4 that easily because my d4 pawn is creating problems. So hello Hisoka sensei, welcome. So how about b4 break? Now I cannot do this directly, so can I prepare it? Now if I can prepare it, how can I prepare it? Okay, so you need to bring another support, so you can play b4. Now what are the other supporting moves? One is queen b2, the other is rook b1, so I can push b4, right? So Srinandan Selvamani, what is your opinion? Hikaru Nakamura's incredible performance, considering is mainly a blitz and bullet player. Can we improve by playing lots of blitz games, even for Nihal? Okay, so here it is like asking how about eating this vegetable or that vegetable. Okay, it's like someone is vegetarian, someone is a non-vegetarian. So a vegetarian says non-vegetarian are eating meat, so I'm not eating meat, so am I supposed to be weak? No, you can eat healthy food in vegetarian food and you can still be healthy. So my point is, what works for one person does not have to work for another person, because each of us are different, each of us are unique in our own ways. So what works for one, Nakamura or Nihal, it doesn't have to work for everyone else. Okay, and the other thing is, if something is working for someone, it is not working for us, it does not mean we are in any way inferior or whatever. Okay, so you have to try what you think is correct and do it. If you are getting the result you are looking for, then you have chosen correctly. If it turns out your decision is not helping you, then you try some other decision. Okay, some other thing. So my point is, again, um, so I wrote in Facebook few months ago, it is like that missing piece. Now what is that missing piece logic? Many of us, what we think, I have everything in place, everything perfect, only some few pieces in the puzzle are missing, and once those few missing pieces are found, then everything will go smooth for me. This is the mindset. Okay, so it is like, for us, for many, what are the missing pieces? And for many it is good coach. Okay, so like I am working with few students, but I am not working with many students, right? So for those who don't work with me, they'll say, oh, if I can get class from Ramesh sir, then I can improve, I can be like Pragnananda, something like this. Okay, so for some, working with some coach X or Y or Z is that missing piece. So if I get a chance to work with these coaches, I can become a good player. So that is the missing piece. Is a opportunity to work with a good coach. The others is my opening choice is bad. Currently, I'm playing some openings. They are not good. They are the main reason I'm getting bad positions and I am losing. So if someone can help me choose the perfect opening, which will suit according to my style, then my results will not be bad. So for that, the missing for such players, the missing piece is the correct perfect opening, isn't it? Um, so similarly for others, oh, I am coming from a very poor family. I cannot play good tournaments. So if I can play good tournaments, then I can become a good player. So my point is, whatever we have already, we are always looking for that missing piece, and we think, okay, all this I have, but still there is something missing. And if I get that missing thing, my results will improve. No, it doesn't work like that. How it works is you already have some strengths, right? And whatever strengths you have, are you making good use of it? This is the missing piece. Okay, I already have something. And so if you see some players, they don't have laptop. I have worked with some players who did not have laptop till they became international masters. Till they became IM, they did not have a computer. No desktop, no computer. Okay, and yeah, Gunas, Erzos, yes. So um, I know I work with some many players, young players, when they were very young, 8, 9, 10-year old children. They are coming from very tough background. They could not even pay fees. They could not come and stay at Chennai to work. So lot of such stories I have seen. And what happens? But one common thing is like most of these children, they have that fire. Okay, they are not. They are not looking for that missing piece, and they are the real people. Like they are the people who actually are missing things. Okay, they don't have A, they don't have B, they don't have C, but what they have is that fire in the belly that I somehow have to become a successful player. This is very important for me, and I'm willing to do anything to become a good player. Okay, so someone please guide me. I will come up in life. Okay, so this is uh, very nice to see that fire in the belly. And when you teach them, so when I ask these children, so today what we can learn, what do you want me to teach? So basically, I would have already decided what I'm going to teach today, but I want to understand my students. So I will ask them, what do you want me to teach today? What do you want me to learn today? Okay. So it is usually that missing piece category students, no? What they will say, I should uh, please teach attack. Please teach me calculation. Please teach me this opening. Please teach me that opening. So they will have very specific requirement because in their mind they think that is the missing piece. Okay, that is the missing piece, and they think if I teach that they will become good at it, and all the missing pieces are in place. But the ones who are actually missing a lot of important things in life, who don't have many things, so most of the pieces are missing. Okay, they will say, whatever you teach, it is fine by me. I am willing to learn. You understand? For them, there is no missing piece. They are here to learn and they will learn everything. So they trust the coach will teach the right things, what they need to know. Okay, so they are not going to waste their energy wondering what I should learn, what I should learn. No, they are there to learn everything. Understood? They are there to learn everything. So whatever I am willing to teach, they are willing to learn. So today I teach Rukun Pounding, tomorrow I teach attack. They will learn both. Okay, so there is no missing piece in their life. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, so Srinandan, I'm also a vegetarian. Okay, any suggestion for adults who played this game when they were in school and now want to get better at the game, because reading tons of books while working is not practically possible? See, again, uh, I can understand that there are many out there. Um, yeah, so Saptak Chakrabarti says, for me, the missing piece is a good opening with black in e4. It is not the missing piece. It is what you think. Okay, you think that is the problem. That is not the problem. Okay, so today, a parent called me, okay, from abroad, and they said they wanted me to teach their child, and they started telling my child started playing chess at the age of this, and then he has played these many tournaments. It was rating went up to this level, and then it dropped. Blah 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 blah. Lot of stuff. Okay, and then they said, will you be teaching this? Will you be teaching that? How many players will be in this group? How many players will not be in the group? What is my, do I have a curriculum? Do I have a syllabus? So the parents were asking lot of questions, and I was not surprised because it's not this parent alone doing this. Many parents do this. Okay, they keep asking lot of questions because they want to ensure they put their child in their right hands with the right coach. Okay, so they are worried like maybe this guy is not a good coach, and what if I leave my child's future with this guy's hands? So they are worried. So they were asking a lot of questions. So I told them like it is not, none of these are important. Um, for everyone missing pieces tournament, no, you can say like if tournaments start happening, I will start getting good results. Now the question is, before the lockdown the tournaments were happening, right? So before the lockdown the tournaments were happening. So are we all happy with our results, or every, there were no missing pieces back then when tournaments were happening? No, when the tournaments were happening we simply had different missing pieces. So the point is, we will always have missing pieces in our life, not just in chess. Okay, I want to earn more money, I want to get a good coach, I want to buy a car, I want to buy a house, I want to get a good job, I want to get salary, a better job. Lot of things will be there in life. There will always be missing pieces. What I am trying to say is, maybe I did not explain it properly, that please don't focus on the missing piece, because if you do that, whole life will be doing only that. Okay, always looking for that missing piece. If only I had that, if only I have this. Always a life living with regret. Okay, for what we don't have. Instead, why can't you focus on things which you already have, and why can't you use it well, right? Whatever you have. So I know many players, they have a laptop, okay, but their parents are very poor. Hmm? So Aditya Mittal saying, I really wonder that coaches like you are viewed by only 70 viewers. I'm very happy that 70 of you are viewing this. Okay. So it's fine. So on Twitter, I was joking in Tamil like, Yarilla tea kadala tea udra, means I'm like serving tea in a tea shop where no customers. So Shankar, who is also attending, Jay Shankar, so he was the one who understood my joke. Okay, but my point is, I don't see it as a negative. Okay, I am not the guy who will be worrying about the missing piece. Right? I can say, why not 1,000 people watching my stream? Right? But if I take that approach, then how can I tell you not to look at the missing piece? I don't have that right to say. So Shankar is Tikada Thambi. Okay, so my point is, please don't worry about things which are not there. And another thing, please don't wait for everything around you to become fantastic. Then I will become fantastic. No. How it should be then? You make things around you fantastic. Understood? Okay? So you have to make people around you, things around you, change the environment. Okay? Make things around you the way you want them to be. Okay? that is the contribution we should be making. Okay, so you already, so I have seen many young children coming from very poor family, parents are struggling a lot, but they understand their children need laptop, so they struggle a lot, borrow money, whatever, and they buy a laptop and give to the child. And what the child does, they will say, I don't have this database, that database. It becomes like that. Okay, so okay, like Ajaya says, let's go with the position analysis. Now, like I said, e4 pawn break is difficult to get, but b4 pawn break is easy to get. Okay, so for Ajaya, me not analyzing the position is the missing piece. Okay, so now the question is, how do I prepare b4? Like I said, there are two ways to do that. One, you can go queen b2, or you can go rook b1. Okay, so you have to take a call. Now, when you play queen b2, what happens? So generally here another concept can help us, which is, like I said sometime back, our opponent has two bishops. We have only one bishop, right? He has a two bishop advantage. Now, generally in such cases, what we should do, we should choose one color whenever we have only one bishop and our opponent has two bishops. So what color we should put our pieces? Now for white, it is very important we don't play on the dark squares because he has a black bishop and we don't have the black bishop, right? So this bishop can control dark squares and we have no opposition to that black bishop. Okay, and also if you see, there is a principle by Capablanca which says, you see the pawns, majority of the pawns, how white has kept, he has kept them in dark color, right? And why? Because whenever you have given up one bishop, whenever you have exchanged one of your bishops, then you lose control on that color, right? So white has given up the dark color bishop, so white should keep his pawns in the dark color, so they will give some protection on the dark squares. Understood? So Rohit Kumar says he is having some mic problem. How about others? Is any sound issue there? No. Or is it fine? Yeah, it's fine here. Okay. So, okay. So now, as I said, once white has given up the dark color bishop, he is keeping all his pawns in dark color, and as a result, it protects white from dark colors. Okay. So the other thing is about the pieces. We should not we should not keep our pieces in black. We can keep our pawns in black to neutralize the bishop, but we should not keep our pieces in black. Understood? So if I play queen b2, what am I doing? I'm keeping all these pieces in black. From white, I'm going to black. And later, these ideas can come. Isn't it? So when you play b4, so I'm just saying, suppose I do something. So something like this. So there will always be this threat, isn't it? Because we have this battery, isn't it? So what I'm trying to say is, you can use lot of logic, common sense, and take many decisions, especially when you have choices. So now I have a choice. I can go queen b2, I can go rook b1, both prepare b4, but when I go queen b2, I'm keeping my pieces in black, which I should avoid when opponent has a black bishop. So white played rook b1. So you see, when a strong player takes a decision, how many things he is considering, right? Okay, so um, he played rook b1 and he is planning for b4 breakthrough. Okay, so now he went bishop a3. So now he is trying to create some control. He is thinking the dark squares are weak and I can control the dark squares. Not only that, what else he played bishop a3 for? Yeah, Saptak, bye bye. So why else he played bishop a3? One of the reason is his queen is not developed, right? The queen is not developed. So what can happen is, where can he develop the queen? Now if he puts the queen like this, then you are blocking your own bishop. Okay, that is one problem. So with, and if he comes to the c file, then these type of ideas, not immediately, but this type of ideas he has to be very careful. So he is trying to find a good square for the queen. By playing bishop a3, he wants to put the queen here or queen here. Understood? So this or this. Okay, now with the bishop on e7, if you play queen d6, the bishop is getting blocked. But with bishop a3 and then you play queen d6, the bishop will not be blocking. And moreover, when I play bishop d6, sorry, bishop a3, so now if you see this bishop and knight, they are blocking the rook's path, right? But after playing bishop a3, the rook is slightly better. Not completely better, but definitely slightly better, isn't it? And also, this queen d6, queen e7 ideas are there without blocking the bishop. So my point is, in every move, I am trying to go very deep into the position and try to learn something good. Okay, this quality also you have to learn. So here, if you see, why am I explaining in such detail small things? Why? What is the necessity? What is the point? Yeah, Shrinandan. So there are many good games to see. This is also a good example. So like I said, let's not worry about the missing piece. Okay, so we have an interesting position in front of us. Let's try to learn from this position. Okay, so why am I explaining so much in detail? What is the point? What am I trying to teach? That you remember all these things, and whenever this position, same position comes to you in your games, you can apply them. Is that the point? The point is, I want every one of you to think like this. Start thinking like this. Try to go deep. Okay? Don't take decisions from the surface. Okay? There is always something good in every position, and we should understand them. Hello, Chandrasekhar. Hello, Abdul Kalam. Welcome. So now White played, executed his idea. So I'm trying to teach how a strong player thinks and how all these small details matter, and how, so if you have a poor concentration, can you bring out so much from every position you think, right? No, isn't it? So it is very important we try to go deep into the position. So generally what happens, uh, we, our concentration is not going very deep, it's very shallow concentration. So when we analyze positions, it's only from the surface we are seeing the position. Oh, this, oh, that, so let me play this move, something like this. Okay, but you actually have to go deep. So a few months ago we went to Maldives, and then we went for snorkeling. So when I am standing above the water and then I look down, I don't see much. And I thought, why everyone is crazy about this? What is so beautiful about snorkeling? Because I've never done it before. So, but they say, like, put the glass, go into the water and see. And the water is only like this much height for me. And then when I put my head into the water and look down, I can see so many fishes, different colors. It's a new, different world inside the water. Okay, but if I am keeping my head above the water, I will be missing everything, right? So to appreciate the beauty of the ocean, I have to get into the water, right, where the life is, right? So same way, when you look at a position, you can keep your head above the position and think from the surface, or you go deep into the position and look for these fishes, look for these beautiful stones, different colored shells, everything. There's a huge world out there. Okay, so we are missing all these things. Yeah, hello Ashwin Subramaniam. Welcome for the subscription. So Ashwin, he was my classmate. We studied in the same school. Now he's living in Bangalore. So yeah, good to know Ashwin, you are watching this. Hello Soham Brahma, Vanakam. Okay, so always try to go deep. But the problem, then the question is, if there is so much beauty, why not everyone go into the water and see? Isn't it? Because we are scared. I don't know swimming. Then always again the missing pieces, right? I don't know swimming. I am scared. Blah 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 blah. Right? So in chess, there is no missing piece. All the pieces are there on the board. Go deep. No risk. Okay? You don't need to know swimming to analyze deeply. Fine. So he took AB4, almost forced, knight b4. Doesn't need much explanation. He develops queen to e7. So we already saw, right, why he played bishop a3. So he wants to get the queen out. So he could have done it with queen d6 also. Then why did he choose queen e7? So you see how I'm thinking. I'm always not interested in finding moves, because I think finding moves is the consequence. It should come later. So what should come first is I should understand what he is doing, right? I should first know what my opponent is doing. Without knowing that all the good side and the bad side of what my opponent is doing, how can I make sense of what is going on in the position, right? Thanks, Ashwin. Nice to know you are enjoying this. I'm also having a good time. So I don't know how many are watching the stream. I saw like Swayam Das was upset because the number went below 70. But what's the point? Uh, I am here to share what I know, and I will be happy if even one of you takes something positive. So there is no missing piece here. Okay, and if you can learn this, I'll be very happy. So there is no missing piece in life. So to become a good player, whatever qualities you need, you already have. Understand that. But the problem is, we also have some bad qualities which we don't need. That is the problem. Yeah, hello, Alan Jones. Thank you very much for the subscription. So the problem, like I said, is not just we. Okay, thank you, Rohit. No, I have not seen Jupiter and Saturn coming together. So if you see, I'm always very curious. Why did he play Queen E7? Because Queen D6 looks more active. It also will defend the pawn, isn't it? So I'm curious. Now I will immediately not call a friend, phone a friend, and try to understand or ask my coach. I don't understand why he played Queen E7. Why not Queen D6? No, don't look for external help. Okay, you have to help yourself. Like I said, you have everything you need. Okay, only thing is use them. Understood? So you don't need others' explanation. You just have to ask these questions, which we are not doing. Am I right? Do we ask these type of questions when we see chess? Why not queen b2? Why rook b1? Why bishop a3? Why why queen e7? Why not queen d6? Do we ask these questions to ourselves when we see chess? No. Why? Because we are not curious enough. Isn't it? If we are curious enough, we will ask these questions. Okay? And if you have patience enough, you will dig deep to find the solution. And the solution exists. It's not like it's something, some magical world which only people who know magic can find it. No. You and me can easily find it. Put some effort. Okay. So now I see one difference is it defends the bishop on b7. Okay. With queen d6, my bishop on b7 will be hanging. That is one reason. The other reason could be he doesn't want to keep the queen in front of the rook. Okay, so he is moving the queen to a different file. So these are the explanations I can come up with. Understood? So this type of asking the relevant questions, being curious enough to ask the questions, and being interested enough, passionate enough to find your own solution is what will make you a better player. Okay, so that is very important. Okay, so you have to give your own explanations because that is what you understand. Whatever explanations I give, that will make sense to me, may not be to others. So what explanation you give to yourself, that is what will make sense to you, that is what defines you. Fine, so now the knight is under attack, but the drawback of this move is the b6 pawn loses its support temporarily, right? So yeah, both queen d6 and queen e7 will attack b4. Okay, so the b6 pawn lost its support, so immediately we should try to find. Now we have understood the good side and the bad side of queen e7, and we can also see there is a threat. So immediately what will happen, some of us will say let me move the knight, some of us will say let me support the knight, right? Because the knight is under attack, we either move the knight away from the attack or we protect it. Okay, my point is you have to see both. If you want to become a good player, whatever interesting possibilities are available in your position, you should see all of them. Okay, if it means you have to put some little extra effort, so be it. I will put the extra effort, but I won't miss any interesting possibility that is available to me. So I can see two candidate moves for white here. One is simply move the knight to d3. That way the pawn on b6 will come under attack. So it has some good logic, isn't it, to play knight d3. But like I said million times, when you see a good move, look for a better one. This is not mine, this is Lasker's, and it makes perfect sense. When you see a good move, attacking the pawn, just keep it as option 1, look for a better one. Maybe there is something else which you have not seen yet. So one of the things we have to learn, we have to realize is, like I said, most of the time what we are thinking is only shallow analysis, not very deep. So you have to learn to go deep every time before you take decisions. Okay, not in bullet or blitz, but in standard time control and at homework also. So the other option is to go queen b3. Now, what is the difference between queen b3 and knight d3? That we have to be curious, right? Knight d3 and queen b3. Both moves look good. Now, some of us may not like endgames, right? I don't like endgame. I like to see sacrifice, attacking game, something like this. So for such people, what they do, they won't see queen b3 at all because it goes to endgame, isn't it? So the point is, many of us take decisions. Hello, Vamsi Mohan. Thank you very much. So Vamsi, his children have also joined in Proest training with great difficulty, I should say. He had been emailing us for so long, and we are all like very overworked. Only very few people trying to run the show. So, but eventually he joined us, and we are happy to welcome him in Proest training. And also, I welcome you, part of our praying mantis. So, what is this praying mantis? It is nothing but like I like Kung Fu Panda movie a lot, and in one of the tweets, Anish Giri called me like Master Shifu, something like that. He probably meant I'm an old man. So uh, I thought like for our group we can have the interesting characters from the Kung Fu Panda movie. Yeah, thank you very much. So now what I was saying is, so those of us who don't like endgames, we will simply reject queen b3 and play knight d3. Okay, but my point is, first requirement, you should see what your possibilities are. Playing mantis. Okay, nice idea. We can change it. We can always change it. Yeah. So my point is, you should see both queen b3 and knight d3. This is the first basic requirement. When there is something good, we should not miss it, isn't it? The second is, when you have two options like knight d3 and queen b3, you should realize I have a choice here, right? And remember one thing, in chess, when do we make mistakes, or when possibility of making mistakes increases? It is when we have choices. Because if our move is forced, like for example, if you take b4, ab4, now does white have a choice? No, he has to take, right? So white cannot make a mistake here in this position, but here he has a choice, right? So in some situations in our game, we will not have choices, then possibility of making mistakes is very less. But when we have choices, it is very good chance that at least 50% chance that we will choose the wrong move, isn't it? So now the question is, when I have a choice, I don't know how to choose. So what should I play? Queen b3 or knight d3? Okay, this is a very serious problem, isn't it? Now, if I tell you what the correct move is, will you be learning how to handle similar situations in the future? Because I won't be there to tell you which move to choose all the time, isn't it? When I say I don't mean I, whomever you work regularly with, your coach, whomever you look up to, right? So the point is, you have to realize whenever there is a choice and there are no easy decisions, I'm getting confused. I'm not able to decide properly, right? When you feel like that, then what you should do, whenever, like in this position, let us take for example, now you have a choice. You don't know what to do. So what you should do? Try to find it yourself, which is better. Okay, you have to teach yourself how to take decisions in such situation. The point is, you have to learn how to take decisions when I have choice, and both choices look good or both choices look bad, equally bad. Sometimes it is also possible, right? So how do I take decisions in such moments? So whenever you get an opportunity like here and you have choices and both look good, then you have to go little deep. You have to realize you are seeing the position from the surface. Go deep now. Okay, so let us consider both. But my point is, I don't like endgame is not a good reason to reject queen b3. Do you agree? Right? So my personal likes and dislikes should not influence my decision making. Okay, if this endgame is good for me, then I should go for the endgame. So let's try to analyze queen b3. Okay, that's what happened in the game. Now, what we were worried about, possibility of going to an endgame. So let's say queen b4, bishop b4, rook b4. Then what happens? The a2 pawn is defended by knight c3. So we don't have to worry about it. And the b6 pawn is hanging. So right now I am not making the moves on the board. I am trying to teach you to analyze, visualize the analysis in your head. So everyone please try and follow what I am saying. So queen b3, queen b4, queen b4, bishop b4, rook b4, and then the b6 pawn is under attack. Now how can he save the b6 pawn? He can play b5, right? But when he plays b5, is it helping him? He's putting all his pawns in white squares. He has a white bishop. We also have a white bishop, right? So positionally it is bad. Not only that, he is simply losing a pawn after b5. How? Can someone tell me? Hello, Vatsal. Good evening. What's? So we have Vatsal Singhania. So he came to us. He came to Chess Gurukul many years ago, and initially he was having a tough time calculating variations, right? And when he came, like Arvind Chidambaram, Pragnananda, they were all there, and those guys were analyzing very well. Yeah, very good. Many of you gave the correct move, a4. Very good. So I will show the move later. So coming back to Vatsal. So when he came to us, he saw that these guys were analyzing very well, and Vatsal was trying to do like them, but he was having he had to struggle a bit, right? So Vatsal, can you share your experience? How you improved your calculation? Hello, Rahul. So Rahul and Vatsal, they are like on the same boat. So they both, when they even Chess Gurukul, they both had a lot of struggle. Even Arnav, isn't it? Arnav, do you remember when you joined Chess Gurukul, you were like exchanging everything, right? very defensive and passive. But later on, you also improved your calculation. So, Rahul and Vatsal are now. Can you share how you improved your analytical skills, calculation skills? Now, Vatsal, Rahul, they are very strong in analysis. Many times they like shock me with their analysis so quickly, and they remember the position so well. So, how did you both improve? What did you do differently? So, Kalyani, so he says, I'm an amateur player. Don't think this is any place for me. Very bad at visualization. So, what I would say is, right now, I am how you should look at these things. So, if you see Kalyani is saying, I am very bad at visualization, right? I am an amateur player. So, this is the real problem. Okay. So, he says, I'm very bad at visualization. So, let me explain this because I think most of you have this um, problem, which is I already one way I said is like first move I said during the class, you said me immediately I'm a positional player. I was shocked. Okay. So Rahul and Vatsal, how did you improve your calculation? Please type for the audience so they can get inspired. Okay. So the point is, we always think whatever currently we are not doing well or currently we don't have, we think of it as a weakness. This is the real problem. Okay. So why don't we see like, okay, currently I don't have this, so let me learn it. Why we are not thinking like that? Okay, for me that is the right way to look at things. Okay. So let me give my own example. Now you can see I have like 4,000 subscribers, something like that. Okay. And now, can I wait for this to grow maybe 400,000 subscribers and then I start teaching good things? Should I wait for that missing piece? Or whoever is there or not, I keep doing my job well and hoping things will get better. What should be my approach? We should make the best use of what we have now, right? So, and don't accept the current shortcomings as permanent. It won't remain the same way, it will get better. Okay, everything needs time, isn't it? So, Rahul has replied. He says it's basically because trying to find moves alongside with GMs and IMs after a long time of keep trying regularly, I feel I improved a lot. So, basically, he was trying. Because these IMs and GMs were calculating very quickly and he was not able to do. But he did not think of himself to be weak in calculation like some of us are doing. Please don't put yourself down. Okay? Okay. So, in the game he played queen b3. Knight d3 is also fine. Yeah, you just have to keep trying till you get it. So, if currently you feel in some area, any area in chess, you feel you are not good at, it simply means today, right now, you are not good in some area. That's all. It does not mean from now I will never be good in this area. Many of you are thinking like that. No. If you are not good at something now, it simply means now you are not good at that. That's all. You can always learn that. Okay, never lose hope. So, like I said, if he takes all this, now the pawn is under attack. If it does, I can just do this. This is hanging, so he cannot take. Okay, and he will lose the pawn. So, he cannot take. Hello, Chess Kharagpur. Good evening. So, in the game, he played rook to a7. Now, let us see why rook a7. So, you see again, what am I doing? I am not trying to find white's move. That's what most of us will do, right? As soon as opponent plays a move, we will try to find a move for white. But what am I trying to do? I'm trying to understand why he played rook a7. One is giving one more protection to this. 2 he wants to double the rook. This is the main idea, and then he wants to focus on my weak pawn. Okay, and now let us say I play some dummy move. Now he can take all this. Sorry, he can take all this b5 a4. Now he can take because the bishop is supported. Right, the bishop is defended, isn't it? Yeah, growth mindset. So Ashwin Subramaniam is suggesting that book, Growth Mindset by Carol Dweck. So growth mindset, fixed mindset. So fixed mindset people, they see like my shortcomings are kind of permanent. Okay, but others, they feel like, okay, so currently I'm not good at something, I will work hard and become good at that. So there are two ways to look at things. So if you want to accept whatever you are bad at today as permanent, then so be it. Okay, but if you see it as an opportunity, okay, now I know where I have to improve, let me work hard and improve in that area, then more possibilities open. So Vatsal has given his views. When I first saw Prague and Arvind Anna calculating, I was very shocked and became inspired. Now this is the growth mindset. So many of us will get shocked and depressed. Go to ICU mode, right? When we see others are doing well, we become depressed. But what Vatsal did, instead of getting depressed seeing others doing well, he got inspired. Now, what category you want to be in? Hmm? That is very important, isn't it? So Ashwin says every time you say you are not good at something, add a yet at the end of the sentence. Yet I am not good. It means the possibility is always there that you can get better. You are not putting a full stop. It's just a comma, right? So Vatsal says I was very shocked and became very inspired. I started working on calculation and I tried my best. First to follow the moves and then find them. So you see, it is not like for Rahul or for Vatsal. Now, I did a session with them, okay, and they were analyzing well. If you go back to earlier videos, you can see in one video both Rahul and Vatsal were analyzing some positions, and they will do it very well and very quick. Now, they were not born like that. They acquired it. Okay, they learnt it. They taught it to themselves. Okay, they did not give up when they realized they are not good at something. Okay, they simply accepted, okay, it is a temporary shortcoming. This is my area where I have to get better. And they got better. They worked hard, they struggled, they become better at it. Okay, so workup is asking how to fuel our fire. Again, it's not a missing piece. You are that missing piece. Okay, you have all the solutions. Use it. Okay, inspire yourself, encourage yourself, motivate yourself. Okay, so from today, I will be a different person. Okay, I will be that fire which I am looking for. I will be that missing piece in my life. Okay, so he played Rook A7. Yeah, thank you, Kalyani, for that. And thank you, Harish. Basically, guys, I just want every one of you to change how you look at things. Okay, that is where most of the problem is. Okay, we are looking at many things from a pessimistic viewpoint. Okay, you have everything you need. Please believe in that. Start making use of it. Ask the relevant questions. Find the answer. Okay, you won't find answer for all your questions, and it is not necessary also, but you must ask all the right questions, because if you don't ask the right questions, there is no chance you will get the right answer, isn't it? But if you ask the right question, at least there is some chance one day, if not today, I will get the right answer. Okay, so I want to improve at chess, but my parents are not allowing me to play chess because of my board exams. So simply accept it. Okay, you have board exams, which is very important in your life, right? So just devote the next couple of months for your education. Study well, no regrets. You are not missing chess. You are just simply rearranging your priorities temporarily. Do the exams well, get good grades, keep your parents happy, you be happy, come back to chess. You won't miss anything in couple of months. Okay, fine. So now he played rook a7 mainly to protect the bishop, but also to double the rooks and create some threats on the a file. Yeah, thank you, Harish. Glad you liked it. But I have a lot of things to share for coaches as well, so that's why I put it at in part one. So part two, part three, part four will all be coming soon. So what I will be doing is like I'm teaching in the other channel also, live streaming, and whatever I'm live streaming there, I'm uploading those videos here, and I'm live streaming here. These videos also will be available here, and apart from that, I'm also recording some chess content. Okay, so whatever I have learned as a player and a coach, I want to share as much as I can. So I'm doing this. So naked eyes to watch after stream. Okay, okay, I'll do that. Once in a 400 area event. Huh? Okay, thanks for that. Definitely watch it. So now he played knight c2. Now what's the point? Now the bishop is under threat. Also the pawn under attack. Now how can he defend the pawn? Not easy. But at least the bishop has enough support for now. Right? So he doesn't have to worry about the bishop on a3. But he has to worry about the pawn on b6. There's no easy way to defend it. Isn't it? Because if you play rook a6, then the rook will be defending the pawn as well as the bishop. So the rook will be overloaded. You know what overloaded is, right? There'll be like too much work the rook is doing. Okay, so that's tough. Yeah, thanks, Gauri. So he has to play b5. Now look at this guy. Not very happy. Right? Okay, fine. So now white has a forced win. So can someone calculate and tell me? Yeah, Bastab. Thanks for that. Yeah, he just played b5, but the bishop b7 is like becoming more and more weak. And the dark squares, whenever you keep all pawns in light squares, the dark squares all become weak, right? All juicy squares, which can be tackled later. Yes. Rahul. Yes. Let's wait for others. White to play and win. Ah. Rahul has already mentioned. Right? So you see how quickly he found it. Rahul, right? BD5. But when the player is actually playing a game, nobody gave him that clue. Right? Nobody gave him that clue that some tactics is coming, there is a forced win for white and all this stuff. So how did he find this then? By simply being alert. Okay, when you are alert enough, you will find the tactics yourself. So he has to take. Now knight b5. This rook is hanging. The bishop is hanging. He cannot defend both. White won the game. Right? So you can move the rook. Sorry. You can move the rook and then I can just take. Now I have how many pawns? 2 pawns up. Right? And white won comfortably. Okay. So you see, when we saw the position, now this is move 26 and white won. And initially when we saw the position, did it look like white is winning here in the next 5-6 moves? Does it look like it? No. Then did black make any big mistakes, many blunders? No. He just played some reasonably looking moves and his position became worse and worse and eventually he lost. Right? So the point is, if you keep taking good decisions, you don't have to find the win. Okay, you don't have to find the win. You just have to keep taking good decisions continuously. So the question is, how long you can keep taking good decisions? How long you can keep good concentration? How long you can keep pushing yourself to go deep into the position? Okay, this is the key. Understood? Fine. So this game is between Grishchuk versus Liko 2008. Okay, so now let's go to the next position. Fine. So this is a famous game by Karpov. So now before we find the move, let us look at the position and try to understand it well. Okay. So now first look compare the king. Let us start from the basics. White king, black king. Both king looks reasonably safe, and as of now there is no attack on the white king or the black king. None of the black pieces, they are all in the second rank, right? In a box. All the pieces in the second rank, they are not threatening the white king. So you can never say white king is unsafe. How about the black king? It looks like none of the white pieces are threatening, but there is a possibility that the bishop can put pressure on this weak f7 pawn, right? So this is a possibility. Okay, so now we have seen the king. Let's look at the pieces, compare the pieces. Both the white queen and the black queen are slightly passive, right? They are black queen covered by these pawns. All these pawns and pieces are blocking our queen, right? So temporarily they both are in not great squares. Okay, how about the rooks? Now this rook and this rook is better because it's like in slightly semi open file, and this rook is good than rook b8. Okay, so both have one decent rook, but this rook is attacking a weak pawn. This rook is attacking a pawn which is defended by a pawn. So you can say rook d1 is better, right? So YouTube Explorer is asking, sometimes in spite of having a growth mindset and working as hard as we can, we see there are people who are inherently good and improve much faster than us, which kind of feels sad. How to deal with such a situation? Now this is a very valid concern, and I appreciate you for saying it openly. Okay, so what YouTube Explorer is saying, I work hard, I am very passionate about my chess, I want to improve, I am not a negative thinking person, I'm very optimistic, I'm doing all the things I'm supposed to do, but still there are few who are improving much faster than me. Why is that? Why I am not still improving much faster? Okay, so here the problem is we are measuring our effort in terms of success or improvement, which is defined by rating, title, all this stuff, isn't it? So you are thinking, okay, I am starting with X rating, that guy is also starting with X rating. I'm also positive working hard, he is also positive working hard. After 2 years, he is like at this height, I'm still at this height, something like this, right? So I'm doing all the things that I should be doing, still I am not growing fast enough. Okay, so what? Hello, Saptak. Welcome. Welcome back. Okay, so now if you see how nature has designed life, now there are millions of trees, plants, isn't it? Now, some trees will grow very fast, some trees will grow average, some trees will go slow, some trees will go very big, medium, short, right? There are grasses, there are plants, there are creepers, right? So much variety, right? Imagine a world if all the trees are same height, okay, same shape. Would we enjoy them? There's no variety, isn't it? So there has to be a variety, there has to be different things. So there are some plants which grow below the soil, right? So if you see carrot or potato, right? So these things are found below the soil. You don't even see it above, right? So my point is, so is a potato a failure? Is a carrot a failure when you compare with a coconut tree or a mango tree, which grow so high, so tall, and everyone can see the coconuts, everyone can see the mangoes, but nobody can see the potato? It is hidden and it is so short, right? But people love potatoes, right? Mm, isn't it? So the point is, you don't have to measure yourself based on what others have achieved in their life. Okay, so the effort itself should make you happy. Okay, the effort you are putting to learn, to get better, to improve, that itself should give you immense satisfaction. Okay, so for example, I am not here looking for praise or appreciation. Okay, so then why I am doing this? Because this is what I like to do. Full stop. You get my point? So when I logged in, there were zero audience. And I said, hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And I started. Okay, so I am not trying to do this for others alone. I'm mainly doing it for myself. It makes me happy when I share what I feel, what I have learned. It gives me happiness. And I'm just hoping others can benefit from this. Whoever is interested. That's all. Enough. Okay, so I don't have to feel bad about anything here. Same way, if you have worked hard, if you have been very positive, you have tried everything you can, then I think you are already successful. There is no reason for you to be sad. Okay, so please don't measure yourself in terms of rating alone or titles alone. Okay, there are lot of other things we can learn. When we work on our chess, we can improve our concentration, our memory, our sporting spirit, our attitude. Lot of good things you can learn. And if you learn those things, then you are very successful in my view. Okay, so please don't feel sad if you are not becoming a strong player in others' definition. You don't have to define yourself like that. Enjoy chess, give your best, and accept happily the outcome. Fine. So let us go to the position back again. Yeah, focus on yourself. Become a better version of yourself day by day. Yesterday you were like this. Today, become slightly better. Day after tomorrow, even better. And be happy with it. Okay? If it is not up to your expectations, the problem is with the expectations, I would say. Okay, so now let us look at the pieces. Like I said, the queen is not very active. This bishop is good, active. This bishop, the light color bishop, is not good now, but it can become good after c5, or I can take my bishop to a4 and then it can become good, right? And how about the knight? The knight is helping in c5 break, but otherwise knight is not doing much. It is also making the rook d1 slightly sad by blocking it, isn't it? Fine. So now it's white to play. Now we have to look at the pawn structure. We have seen the king, we have seen the queen. Now we also have to see the pawn structure. Yeah, hello Vansh. Greetings. So now if you look at the pawn structure again, these two pawns are passive. And this also indirectly, because once we get c5, f7 also can become weak. So black has a poor pawn structure because most of his pawns have advanced, right? So if you see, only 3 pawns have not moved, but we have 4 pawns not moved. Okay, so more loose pawns for black. So white played c5. So from the topic, c5 is very obvious. Okay, now he played bishop b7. So this is nice. Why he plays bishop b7? So thing is, he could have taken like this. Okay, um, in your tournament, my ID was banned because leeches thought I had cheated, but I hadn't cheated. What to do, sir? Please tell me. Okay, chess with Crete, it's not in my hands what leeches decides. Understood? So don't feel bad about it. If you know you have not cheated, then you have not cheated. So don't feel bad about it. Okay, fine. So now one thing we can learn from the decision which black took, which is bb7, is he did not react. Okay, hello Ali Pakdeen. So he did not take automatically. This is what many of us will do. Okay, whenever there is a pawn tension, we try to release the tension, but it is not necessary to release the tension. Okay, so Shubh Malhotra, sir, I'm usually very aware tactically and I have good calculation skills, but I struggle to find long term plans and end up ruining my position. Then you have to work on that area. That's all. Nothing to feel sad about it. Shubh. Understood. If you feel your calculation skills are good, then start focusing on areas where you feel you have to improve. So I'm showing a Karpos game. No, okay, this is Peter Lico. So you can just see Karpos best games. So analyze some strong positional players games, preferably from the classics. Okay, the past players, and you will become good at it. Okay, so the point I'm trying to make again and again is wherever you feel you are not good today, it means from today work in that area and become good at it. That's it. Fine. So he played c5. Now this opens the bishop, put some pressure on d6. Okay, kinds of fix the c pawn, and then this guy will become very bad. So immediately what is doing? He sees an opportunity. Okay, good. Now I can come bishop a6 and improve my bishop. Right? Yeah. So Rahul is giving a variation for c5. So instead of here, he says dc5, and then he says bishop f4, bishop d6, right? And then he says knight c5, and then he says bishop c5 check, because if here he wants to take this, okay, rook d7 or knight d7, okay, but this is hanging, but okay, f7 is also hanging, so we have to consider that as well, right? Rook d7, bishop h2, king h1, queen g3, bf7, king h8, bishop e8, queen h4, so we have to see that as well. Okay, so the variation he gave is bishop c5 check, queen into c5, knight into c5, bishop into c7, rook c8, bishop takes a5, knight takes b3, a takes b3, c5, opening this bishop, and this bishop is not so good, and I feel black is good enough. So that is why he sees this variation black can survive. So he wants to, for dc5, he wants to, does not want to play bishop f4, but simply take this. Now if you take everything, then this is still a bad bishop, but our bishop is good and our rook is also good, and these two pawns are weak, so white should be better. So this is what Rahul is giving. Nice variation, Rahul. So in the game he played bb7. Okay, and now normally it's white's turn, so there is pawn tension. So what we generally do, we try to release the tension, we start calculating. But now look at this bishop, how good this bishop is. Not very good, right? This bishop is not very good. But when you take this, what happens? The bishop suddenly improves, right? Starts attacking our weak pawns. So such exchanges we should not make. So from this, what you can learn is not all exchanges are equal. So we may think one white pawn goes out of board, one black pawn goes out of board. So this is equal exchange. Nobody is gaining or losing, right? But if you see from this exchange, black benefited more because his bishop got improved, isn't it? So please don't think pawn pawn exchange, it is equal exchange. No, this is not an equal exchange. black gains more from this exchange. So whenever there is an exchange to be considered, okay, so this CD6 possible, this exchange is possible. So how do we decide whether this exchange is good or bad? Okay, so you see who gains more from those exchanges. If you are gaining more than your opponent, then do the exchange. If your opponent is gaining more from that exchange, avoid the exchange. Okay, so now white played bishop of 4. So you see now this pin is hurting black. Now he played bishop to a6. This was his idea. So now he wants to take here and maybe take this, but still queen c5 ideas are always there. But at least he has improved his bishop from a8 to a6. Okay, now white has something like a forced win. Please find it. So chess king Shivam, how much hours we have to spend in chess to become a GM? It is not measured in hours. Okay, so it is like how much money you have to spend to eat a good lunch. It's not measured with money, right? So what is available, how you can make use of it. If you are in a jungle or desert, what we can do with the money. So if you see in a National Geographic channel, they put themselves in a jungle and then they eat whatever insects are available, right? Isn't it? So what is available, how you can make use of it, lot of things. So it's not hours, it's not measured in hours. Hello, Jonathan Saxman. Hello, sir. I want to thank you for the content you are putting out. Much love. Thank you, Jonathan. Thanks for that. Thanks for your appreciation and support. Much appreciated. So, white has a nice win. Find it. Concentrate. No, don't just come up with one move. Okay, so now Rohit Nagar says bishop c4. I will discuss bishop c4 later. Let us give some time for everyone to think. Okay, so please go deep into the position. Take like 2 to 3 minutes at least. Okay, so please think for 2 to 3 minutes. Don't believe your first impression. Okay, take your time. Please think. Let's enjoy thinking. Hello, Asela. No, Rahul, I already read your answer. I want to give more time to the players to think. Okay, thanks, Aurora. But if you want to appreciate me, please think. Then I'll be extremely happy. Okay, if you can teach yourself to think and think with good concentration, I'll be so happy. Yeah, hello, Shivansh. Work up. I would say um, there is no reason why you should not enjoy chess. Why you don't have to be passionate about chess, right? See, I quit chess 12 years ago. I'm not a player anymore. Okay, I've not played any tournaments. Like, I've played 3 tournaments for fun in the last 12 years. Okay, so why am I still doing this? So it's everything, you don't need a return. Okay, so don't see your effort as an investment. Okay, so I'm spending 3 hours today. So what I will get for spending 3 hours on chess? You don't have to see it like that. This is not like some share market or whatever. Okay, so if seeing chess with lot of interest, if it makes you happy, then you have already succeeded, right? You have already got what you want. So please don't keep measuring yourself in terms of rating and all these factors, because we simply have to accept what has happened. We can't go back and change it. So enjoy the process. That itself should give you satisfaction. Okay, fine. So, so far I have not seen anyone give the correct explanation for the variation, but some of you have come close but not given the main line, and others like um, so I'll just give. How about Vatsal, Rahul, Arnav? Anyone? I don't know if still Karthik and Muli is there. If he's there, I think would have got it. I think Rahul and Vatsal can get this. Come on, Arnav. Ansh, your last move is not good. Okay, can I give the answer? Or do you want more time? I'm reading all your messages. Yeah, okay. I'll give some more time. So Asela is asking, is there any schedule for your live streams? I am seriously trying to make a schedule for my live streams, but I'm finding it difficult for now. But I will try to come up with a schedule because like a lot of changes are happening, so I'm not able to commit to one schedule. That's the problem. But once things settle down, I'll try to inform in advance. But my point is, anyway, these videos are available. It's recorded and stored. So whenever you have time, you can watch it later. You don't have to learn live. So Anand Rai, how to think so much in Blitz and Rapid? No, you don't have to think so much. You just have to think as much as you can and be happy. Jonathan, I didn't see your message. Uh, You just said never mind, but I don't see any variation before. So can I give the solution? So you see what I did now. I gave lot of time to think, isn't it? And this is how usually I take classes. When I take classes with my students, I give some interesting portion. I make them think. They think. They struggle. They see some idea, and then when they see it deeply, then they realize it is not working, and then they try some other idea that also does not work, and then they try some other idea, finally it works. Okay, this is how usually strong players find the correct move. They don't see everything correct in their first attempt. Okay, but that is what we think. We think all strong players are so good in calculation, and whenever they see any position they can find the best move immediately. No, they struggle a lot, but they keep on trying. They persist, they believe in themselves, and finally they get the answer. Okay, so this persistence is very important. Okay, so don't expect like to find the best moves within few seconds or few minutes of your effort. It is not necessary. Okay, so you should be ready to invest more time in thinking when you see chess. Yeah, Arnav, you got it right. So CD6, bishop d6, bishop d6, queen d6. So many of you wanted knight c5. Okay, here knight c5 is not good. So knight e5. So Imran Hussain, so there is no intuitive chess. I'm not saying there is no intuitive chess. Okay, so why do we play chess? We want to get good results. But how do you get good results? By playing good quality chess. And when do you play good quality chess? When you analyze well, when you understand the position well, and you take correct decisions. If your decisions you take are good, then you will get good results, isn't it? So, for that, we have to teach ourselves to analyze properly. So, first, learn how to analyze properly. Once you have learned that, then there is no opening, middle game, end game distinction. Understood? That distinction simply vanishes. Only chess remains. Okay, so in any position, opening or middle game or end game, familiar or unfamiliar position, the position you like or you don't like, none of this will matter anymore. You will simply analyze, find the best move, and play it. Okay, so this is what something you have to aim for. Understood? And how do we learn this? Only by analyzing and analyzing and analyzing. Only by doing things, you can learn things in a better way. Okay, so whenever there is an interesting position, strain yourself. Don't be curious about the solution. Okay, so I gave you an interesting question and say why to play and win. Now everyone should be waiting. Oh, there is a win here. So soon this guy will give me the answer. So let me wait for it with lot of excitement. This is not some movie climax, right? So why the position is interesting? Because it can challenge you. It can challenge your brain, right? You are given an interesting position, some challenge, accept it, try to find your way out. Okay, that is the way to improve. Intuition is nothing but what you have accumulated over the years in the past. Okay, in the past, whatever experience you have, whatever knowledge you have acquired, whatever skills you possess, okay, all that will guide you to think in a certain way. That is intuition. Okay, but the intuition will be good generally for stronger players. Their intuition will be much better than someone who is not as strong. Okay, so till you become reasonably strong, you should not take intuitive decisions, because most of the time our intuition will misguide us. Okay, because we are still in the growing stage. So teach yourself to take decision after analysis instead of trusting intuition. So this is the point. Now he cannot take knight e5, the queen is hanging. Now if he plays this check, then I can win the exchange. Okay, so he has to take this, and now rook d7. Now just compare the pieces. This is attacking this is open, this is in 7th rank. You see all the white pieces are becoming active. They are actually attacking something. Okay, this is under attack, this is under attack. Now look at this bishop. Is it attacking anything? It is like shooting in the thin air. There is no target for the bishop. Whereas our bishop has a target, our rook has a target, our queen has a target, right? So you can see white pieces are becoming attacking and aggressive. So now this pawn is under attack. Now he can defend it like this, or he can defend it like this. Now if he plays here, I can take this at least, and there'll be a pawn up, and I'm also having a better position, right? And if he plays this, now the queen is defending the rook and the rook is defending, so everything is like defending each other. So when too many pieces are relying on other pieces to survive, tactics will come. So finally this tactic comes. It's game over. Now I cannot take the pawn because the rook is hanging, right? So where can I move the queen to support the rook? Only one square left, right? Now keep attacking, attack the queen. Okay, so the only square where I can support my rook is here, and now I can play. So the queen has to move and the rook will be lost. It's game over, right? Hello Jayesh Bob, thank you very much for the support. So why was knight c5 bad? At which moment? So I think you are asking at this point, right? C d6, bishop d6, and knight c5. Gizmo girl, am I right? Yes. So you can play bishop c5 check. Now this is also hanging. So this is forced. Knight c5. Bishop into this attack, attacking the rook, right? So I can just come here. Okay, I'm defending this pawn. You cannot take this. Now this is also a threat. Okay. So white still is better because he has 2 bishop advantage in the endgame. Okay, and I should save this bishop. This is very important. Now if I go here, he can go back. Now both the bishops are under attack. Okay, so I have to move my bishop like this. I can maybe push like this, try to play b3. Okay, so some of you are asking why not cd6, bd6, e5. This is also good, but most of you said something like this, here e6 and wins, something like that, right? Which is fine, but the critical variation nobody gave, which is 95. And after 95, bishop e5, what we should do? Now this is a critical move. This no one gave. Shubh Malhotra, you have to consult the ASF website, or whichever state of India you are in. Please consult the respective state association website or district association website. They will post about the tournaments. But during the lockdown period, I don't think there will be any tournament to play. So the winning move here is queen e4, back rank weakness. So if he takes on f4, this is mate. Okay, otherwise it's lost. Okay, so this is a very strong move, and he's not able to play f6 pin, right? So he's losing this piece. It's game over. Okay, so if you had seen this variation, then I would say e5 is correct, but I don't think anyone saw this variation, isn't it? Fine. So in the initial position, is a4, bishop a4 possible? I already mentioned it, right? You can play this, but you compare, this is giving you more or this is giving you more. I think c5 gives more for white, so we should go for c5. Okay, fine. So here we saw in today's session we saw a few examples of pawn breaks, basically two examples, and from those examples we saw how suddenly white pieces became active, right? So you see, all the white pieces suddenly became very active. Sorry, BB7, and then we played bishop f4. Okay, so you see how this got improved, and then the rook d7 came, and white won very clean. So one way to open up the position for your pieces to bring them to life is to use pawn break at the correct moment. Okay, the correct pawn break at the correct moment. So this is what I want to teach you. It's a main topic. We also discussed about a lot of other things. So about the missing piece. Okay, there is no missing piece in the puzzle. Okay, so whatever pieces you have, create a something beautiful. Okay, that should be the approach. Fine. So regarding my next session, even I'm not sure. So there is a lot of work we need to do for making ProChess training successful. Lot of work behind the scenes we have to do. So I will try to do as much as I can. Okay. So like I said, I'll be streaming here. I'll be streaming on the other platform. I'll be posting recorded videos. So everything, I'm trying to give my best. Okay. But I will try to create a schedule going forward. But I don't think that is possible in December. Probably from January it should be possible. I'll keep you posted in the Discord channel, Facebook, Twitter. I'll keep you informed. Okay. So if you like the videos, you can subscribe to the channel and show your support. Okay. So a lot of people today contributed. So thank you everyone for that. So I think you all had a good time. I had a great time. I enjoyed this session a lot. Personally, very satisfied. So whenever you see chess, try to give your best effort. That's it. Okay. Fine. So let us stop today's session with this. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kalyani. Thank you, Ali Pakrin. So you can watch these videos again if you felt something you liked about it. Maybe you can watch it later and then take some notes so you don't lose this information. But like I said, try to think about the things. Okay. And think about how you are thinking, what is your attitude, and where you should make the changes. And if you're not good at chess, I wouldn't even say you are not good at chess. If whatever level you are at, you're not happy with it, I say like you're measuring yourself from a different yardstick. Try to measure yourself with a different yardstick and you'll be fine. Okay? Welcome. Um, no, I'm already posting many of the videos I'm doing, all the videos I'm doing in the other channel, I'm posting them here. Okay? Fine. So take care, everyone. Don't feel bad about yourself, whatever level you are. Be happy that you are here. There are many who are in much worse situation than us. So we are all like gifted from that angle. Okay, so irrespective of your current level, don't give up hope. Believe in your capabilities. Keep working hard. Working hard is your success. Okay, when you work hard, you are teaching yourself how to work hard, and I would say that is the biggest reward you can take from chess. Okay, take care. Good night.